This is Generation Stadia, giving you that daily dose of everything and anything Stadia related, and lately Google's been on a bit of a roll with the news. Throughout this week we'll be covering all of it plus more, but for this video I want to pay specific attention to the brand new games announced coming to Google Stadia. So let's dive right in, beginning with MotoGP 20. So I certainly feel like this game announcement kind of flew under the radar because it was just announced via a trailer on the game's specific YouTube channel. That being said, it is coming from the same team that just brought us Monster Energy Supercross 3, so it's great to see the continued support. In case you haven't heard, the game will be launching April 23rd, right after the official MotoGP Championship kicks off. The game will feature its own career mode, which will let you switch from real teams to new teams created with sponsors from the world of MotoGP. The game is designed in a simulation style, so if you're looking for a challenge, this game will surely deliver. Now, I've never played this series as I'm much more of a car guy when it comes to racing, but I will definitely check this one out. Now, the next set of games we're about to talk about were a part of the latest Stadia community update and all come from one franchise. We're talking about none other than the Steamworld franchise, and right now we're going to take a look at Steamworld Dig 1 and Steamworld Dig 2. In case you haven't heard of these games before, they're Metroidvania platform games, and honestly, they're some of the best out there. As for time to beat, you're looking at about 5 hours of gameplay for the main storyline, but if you're the completionist type, expect no less than 8 hours. The sequel Dig 2 increases the time to beat, with the main storyline being about 7 hours and a completionist run taking about 13. Both of these titles are highly regarded in the indie game space and some of the best Metroidvanias you can play. And while the story does connect between Dig 1 and Dig 2, it isn't necessary to play the first one. The sequel improves on the first with better visuals as well as gameplay, but I would say that if you enjoy the second one enough, then be sure to check out the first as well. And in case you didn't know, Steamworld Dig 2 will be a Stadia Pro game as soon as it launches. Next up, we're going to be talking about Steamworld Heist. You'll be at the command of robot pirates in some very tactical shootouts. While it does take place in the same world as Dig 1 and Dig 2, the gameplay is extremely different. This is a turn-based strategy game with an action twist. In terms of completion time, you're looking at around 12 hours for the main storyline, but about 20 and a half if you're the completionist type. This is yet another very highly regarded indie game. In fact, it's sitting at a 91 on the Metacritic score. In terms of gameplay, think about it being like XCOM meets Worms. The game also suits both newcomers and veterans alike, and also has procedurally generated levels. I would highly recommend you check this one out, especially if you're a big fan of turn-based tactical games. Next, we're going to take a look at the last game that was confirmed for Stadia, and that's Steamworld Quest: Hand of Gilgamesh. Once again, you can expect a very different style of gameplay, as Steamworld Quest is a role-playing card game. In this title, you'll lead a party of aspiring heroes through a beautifully hand-drawn world and intense battles using only your wits and a handful of cards. This epic journey is steampunk meets fantasy, and the main storyline will run you about 14 hours, but if you're the completionist type, then you're looking at 25. As with any card game, building a deck is extremely important, and there's no shortage of that here. That being said, it's extremely flexible, and the turn-based strategy makes it much more open-ended than your traditional card game. It's more akin to Final Fantasy than something like Hearthstone. By the way, this title will also be a Stadia Pro game upon its initial release. Now that covers all the new games that have been announced coming to Stadia. Do let me know what you think about them in the comments section below. Myself, I'm pretty excited to check out MotoGP as I've never played the series, but I am into simulation racing games. But out of everything, I'm just really happy to see the Steamworld franchise make its way over to Stadia because it really deserves to be on the platform. Not only are these indie titles great and extremely creative, but they also benefit from mobile play. If you're a Nintendo Switch owner, then I'm pretty sure you're aware of this franchise because a lot of Switch players highly recommend it. Now, don't get me wrong, these games are great on their own merit, but they're perfect titles to take on the go, and Stadia is a mobile platform much like the Switch. Overall, I think it's great that Google's starting to be more consistent when it comes to announcing more of these games coming to the Stadia platform. Now, I know plenty of you aren't excited about indie games. In fact, in my last video where I covered some other games coming to the Stadia platform, many of you made it very clear that you want AAA titles. I can definitely understand your sentiment there, but let's just hope that the next set of games that Stadia announces includes some bigger budget titles. Till then though, we have some great indie titles to play, and even if you didn't plan on picking them up, at least 2 of them are going to be included in a Stadia Pro membership. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video or found it helpful at all, be sure to hit that like button as it really does help the channel out, and if you're wanting more content like this, be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell as well. Today's end of video message is going to be for those of you who watch my videos, as I just wanted to let you know that I will be talking about the recent games being pulled from GeForce Now, as well as my thoughts on xCloud. But don't worry, there's no shortage of Stadia info to talk about and catch up on, which I will be doing this week as well. As always, thank you for watching this video. This has been Generation Stadia, giving you that daily dose of everything and anything Stadia related. The Gen S community is over 3,500 strong and growing by the day, and until next time, I'll catch you in the clouds.